I have 4 employees now, and I've gone a different way from most people. I've hired almost all family, and my brother-in-law, my lead photographer, who taught me so much getting started in this business. He's my go-to guy if I need to know something, and he's been with me 4 years. I think you don't have to. People always say don't hire friends or family, but I think it can work. I working for you as long as you both respect one another and you're humble and just you care about one. I don't see why it can't work.
I agree. The only exception to that is spouses.
That is true, and I think it's just because we know each other way too well.
Well, and I think it's hard for a spouse to feel commanded.
Yeah.
Because man, when I am in day-to-day mode
Right.
and stuff has to get
Giving
done,
orders.
I am in a different mode.
Yeah.
I'm not in, hey, I'm being loving Dustin. I am.
Yeah.
We're gonna get stuff done right now.
No, you can't go to lunch.
That's right.
That's
Yeah, you ate yesterday. And the sad thing is, I've seen more agents divorced
Mm-hmm.
because they hire their spouse as a transaction manager or an agent, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh gosh, because there's just something about that. But you're right. My daughter works for me. My mother-in-law has worked for me for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my sister-in-law worked for me. You worked for me. I mean,
Yeah. And Brianna's been with you how long?
year and a half now.
A year and a half now.
Yeah.
And it's wow, it's just great. Your mother-in-law is fantastic to work with.
Dude, she's
If-
so sweet.
If you haven't worked with her, you have to. And give me her name one more time.
Nancy Harrison. She does a full listing management package for $150. It's so
Wow.
cheap. I've told her so many times, you need to raise the price, and she's like, no, I don't need to raise the price. And I mean, she lives in a house that by herself, and she's an older lady, and I mean, you can send her a listing on Friday at 10 o'clock at night, and she's got it in by 11:30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And people love her. They just love her because
Yeah.
she's so sweet.
Yeah, she is. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She'll answer my phone calls or chat with me or contact if we ever need
Yeah.
anything. Sometimes we have the same clients we work with, and she's so easy to work with. She's
Yeah.
not difficult at all. Her process is super smooth.
Well, I built the process.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably
my
why it's easy
process.
for me because I know it already.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's fantastic. If any agents want to use her service, how do they get a hold of her?
Listings at sold2close.com. Listings at sold2close.com. Or you can just reach out to me and I can put you in touch with her. But I mean, yeah, she's always available.
And you can go right there and schedule something.
Yep. And
Okay.
she does everything.
Yeah, that's perfect. And getting back on, we were talking about the hires. If somebody's coming in and they want to present an application to your company, what can they expect? What can they expect that you're looking for more than? I know it's customer service and everything else, but if you're going through this many, how can they have a shot at even being a part of what you're doing?
There's a level of integrity that I have to see above anything else. Literally, I've got to see a level of integrity. And the reason I mentioned that girl who emailed me last night is because I based upon her resume, I know things about her and her integrity automatically because I know everyone in this industry. I know every realtor, lender, title. I know them all. And her resume told me more about her than she probably realizes. The fact that she responded to me at 10:30 at night tells me that she's driven. She could have waited until the next day.
Sure.
The fact that I said, when are you available? She gave me multiple times which tells me that she wants something. So there's a lot of factors I look at. I'm not concerned about education. I'm not concerned about experience so much. I want someone who is going to be a great reflection of the mission and vision of my company, and who ultimately I can trust with the agents. Because at the end of the day, what I do for these realtors says everything about who they are to the client that we represent. Craig told me when I was working at the Own Group one time, I'd only been working there for like a year, and he made this statement, and it stuck with me ever since then. He said, you are only as good as your best vendor.
Hmm. Wow.
And I thought, oh my gosh, which means Pat and Kathy, who owned the Owen Group at that time, were only as good as their listing manager and their transaction manager. And I took a ton of pride in that because I knew, man, I'm representing who they are as people. And I want my transaction managers to think to themselves, I am representing Dustin and the agents that we work with in every aspect of who they are as a person and a business. I mean, that stuff is super important.
It is important. Yeah, and once if somebody has that mentality and they grab onto that, they'll want to put out excellent work every time.
You don't even have to train them to do that. It
Right.
just happens.
Yeah, especially pay them while they're motivated.
yeah. Once they start making a lot of money, they're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
this is a bonus.
Yeah, it takes a while to get there, but man.
Yeah. Well, depends. I mean, my one transaction manager is less than 6 months, and she's
Wow. Yeah. Well, your business is at the point now where you can provide all that business for her
Yeah.
as well. I mean, you have to go to that point where you
Yep.
can. I'm sure you get to a point where the snowball starts going downhill and just pick it
Well,
up.
it is. I mean, yeah, I get probably 4 to 5 agents who reach out to me a day. And the funny thing is, I'm getting a lot of phone calls and texts and emails right now from agents who are working with a couple other companies that are out there right now. And they're like, this is the worst experience I've ever had. And all I keep hearing is good stuff about your company. And so I think, man, those companies are actually doing me a favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're doing shoddy work, and they're showing that this other company that has a great reputation does something far above and beyond this. And so right now I'm actually getting a ton of phone calls and emails from those. So I'm literally able to pick up an agent and hand them to a transaction manager.
Yeah. With my company, it's the same thing. Most of it's all referral based, obviously, 100%,
Gosh.
just like yours. We put out a fantastic product, and if we don't, then it reflects.
Yeah, dude,
poorly.
I remember looking at your stuff and thinking, I can't believe agents don't use Jason. I mean, I would look at, because you know how many photographers we dealt with. I mean, I dealt with photographers all over Texas, and I remember thinking, why would an agent let this guy take pictures?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because all you have to do is just take something and put it side by side, and you go, that's way better.
And I still think that, and I think it's the same reason that people might use your competition, because they're cheaper. But in the end, they realize those people are cheaper, and they might provide some of the main services that I need, but their customer service is completely lacking.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
At the end of the day, they're rude. Their system is difficult to work. I don't get things accomplished in time. I don't get anything back right away. I mean, and I hear about that all the time. I get so many people coming to me, not because another photographer is 100% horrible. They might be okay, but they come to me because of our customer service. And that's one of the things that I think I learned a lot from you in the beginning, was that customer service, that level of paying attention to what the customer's needs are. As you know, you have to move beyond seeing them as this is this amount of money I'm making off this person. You have to realize that you're helping that person grow their business. You're helping that person sell their home. One of the biggest things they'll ever do in their life: buy or sell a home.
It's so emotional.
Yeah, it's extremely emotional, especially on your end, because you're dealing with the financial part that they're
Yeah,
having to
and I mean, and that's why I always tell the transaction managers that I hire that the client that we're working with is not a checklist. They're a person. I mean, you have got to see them as a person, and they're going to have needs, and they're going to be wishy-washy, and they're going to be confused, and they're going to be scared, and they're going to be emotional, and half the time we're playing therapist, which is fine, and that's why when people see my checklist and the videos that we send out to the client that explain the process, we help educate the client throughout the whole process so that they sit back and they go, oh, they have access to my entire checklist in Transaction Point. They can follow along every single day in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with exactly what we're doing. That makes a client feel like they've got control and like they can rest and go, okay, that makes sense. But if they're just sitting at their house and they're like, what's next?
Yeah.
what's going on, and an agent is out working with buyers or sellers, and if they have 2 or 3 things under contract, there's 1,000 deadlines they're trying to hit. They cannot provide that kind of service to a client.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Right. One of the things that I think was always great is that accountability that it has both ways because of your system. Because a client can look at that website and go, hey, this wasn't
Why is
done.
all this stuff in red? Yeah, I mean,
why is it not done yet?
Yeah, there's a very high level of accountability in my business, which is a double-edged sword. But I mean, that's just the way I want it. I don't.
Yeah. It's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, if I can't complete my job, then I shouldn't be hired.
Yeah. And you said you have like 50 something steps. You don't have to go over all of them, but you'll see from the time that house goes under contract, you'll see it through until it closes.
Post closing. There's post. I mean, we do everything from help coordinate checks, inspections. We send out a video intro email that goes to the client with when their option period ends, what that means, when the third party financing date ends, what that means, when their closing is, who their closer is. Everything we do asks for referrals because we're going to try and help the agent grow their business. Every signature advocates the agent, Dustin Curlee, transaction manager for the agent's name. We send out a video intro email to the vendors, which is the title company, lender, other agent, and the agent we're working with, just kind of doing the same thing with the introduction. We get title commitment, we check Schedule C, we write amendments, any amendments for you, and make sure that they're signed and executed, sent to the appropriate parties. We send out letters on letterhead that go to the buyer or seller that look like they come from the agent.
Right.
We help them get their utilities switched over. We help them get insurance quotes. We help them get home warranties. I mean, literally, we do everything minus negotiate repairs. Schedule closings, send out a closing invitation. The client gets a closing disc 3 weeks after closing with all of their transaction documents on it. Looks like it comes from the agent. At the end of the year, they get a end of the year letter with a homestead exemption that just says, don't forget to access your closing disc for your settlement statement for tax purposes. By the way, if you ever know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, please refer them to me. A referral is the greatest compliment we can receive. I mean, all of that stuff is being done for the agent while they're out buying and selling.
And the seller doesn't have to worry about it either.
Nope.
Because you're handling all that, that's out of their mind. They see the system in place, they see how well it works, and they can focus on packing and moving to their new home.
Yep, and what's funny is we send out a testimonial letter at the end of the deal saying, hey, we just wanted to know how we did as a team for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's so funny. They always come back and they go, like, let's say it was a deal I was working with Craig. Craig was the best realtor. He kept me informed by, and I'm like, I did all that.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point.
But that's your job. Yeah.
I don't want them to say Dustin was the greatest thing on earth. I want them to say this team or this agent was the greatest thing on earth. And so I know that I accomplished my job through that.
Yeah, I remember working with you and you telling me, our ultimate goal is we want to make these people look like rock stars. That's what we want to do. And if we can make them look like rock stars, we're going to look like rock stars.
Yep. And
that's exactly what it is. To this day with any company, if you can make your clients look amazing, you'll look amazing.
Yep.
And your name doesn't have to be known. If you're on the back end, they're still going to pay you to do it, right? So, yeah, I think it's really good. If somebody wants to contact your business, what's your phone number, website, email address, and your new website, all that stuff.
Oh God!
If you don't want them to go to the website,
no, I don't care if you go to the website. It's ghetto. I mean, I don't do anything with it because that's not where I get business. But it's www.sold2close.com. Sold2close.com. The best way to reach me is either call me or text me 512-635-7526. Or you can email me at owner@sold2close.com.
Very cool.
It's the easiest way. I mean, I live on my phone, so.
Yeah, you're always on it.
Yeah, I am.
Cool. Dustin Curlee?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.